watching Tommy TV.
Good Tuesday evening from Taylorville. We are getting ready for this last match of the Thanksgiving holiday tournament here between Taylorville and Civic Memorial. This is the big one. Whoever wins tonight wins the competition. Thanks so much for joining us on Tommy TV and 96.5 The Chill. I'm Reed Kamai. Should be a good match between these two teams. So far, at least in terms of the records, the two heavyweights of the competition. Civic Memorial, they're unbeaten in the 4 matches so far, and they've won every match by quite considerable margins, 26, 46, 31, and 39 points in those matches. Taylorville 3-1, they lost the first match against Hillsborough and then won all of the others. So with that, with the way the tiebreakers work, whoever wins tonight wins the competition. This is the last game of the competition for this season. All the other ones took place earlier, so it all comes down to tonight. And for Taylorville, they're going to lean on their big players to make it happen, most certainly Grace Rogers among them. She was the top scorer last time out in what was a competitive fixture against Mount Zion, and she came away with 22 points in that game. Did Grace Rogers. She's the junior power forward, standing at 5'9". And we knew coming in she was going to be one of the big players this season, and she's proven to be exactly that. You see her right there if you're watching on Tommy TV. And then in the previous 3 games, even though she wasn't the top scorer, certainly was a big part of the play. Getting involved in the paint, she was able to drive to the basket. She knew where her teammates were and was able to find them for some good shots. She's been sent to the free throw line quite a bit as well. And so I'm sure we'll be seeing plenty of that in this game as well, especially if she can cause problems in the paint. And then the other player to look for is Bailey Jackson. There you see her again if you're watching on Tommy TV. Now, up until that game against Mount Zion, she had actually been the top scorer in each game. She amassed 14 points in the game against Mount Zion, and she's another player who has really had to step up. We've talked a lot about players having to step up this season with all of the departures at the end of last season. So Bailey Jackson, the only center on this team, so certainly a player who's had big shoes to fill. She's come into the season certainly with a lot of excitement for her role that she was going to play in this season, and has really lived up to it in terms of the point scoring and in terms of a lot of the other aspects that she has had to fill so far this season. It's just 4 games in, a lot more to come this season, of course, but you got to start somewhere, and this tournament, these games have given this Taylorville team a really good opportunity to do exactly that. In a moment, we're going to take a break, but first I want to remind you that our coverage on 96.5 The Chill is sponsored by your Taylorville McDonald's, where I'm loving it, and they love the Tornadoes. It's also sponsored by Taylorville Community Credit Union, the senior citizens of Christian County, the Country Financial Agent Nicole Patrick, I almost forgot that one, and Scooter's Coffee. Now, Scooter's Coffee continues its participation in the Tornado Give Back program. They are making donations to the Tornado Sports Boosters. $3 for every 3-pointer scored by the boys and girls varsity teams this season. Now, the girls team has so far scored 13 3-point shots for $39 added through the girls basketball team this season. The girls team actually did not score any threes in the last game against Mount Zion, so they were unable to add to the tally in that game, but 13 on the season so far, so $39. Add that to the $410 amassed from the football team's touchdowns this season, $10 for every touchdown, and they are now up to a grand total of $449 so far for this school year. Well, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll continue to build up to this last game of the Thanksgiving holiday tournament between Taylorville and Mount Zion here on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. Tornado girls basketball here on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. We are building up to the last game of the Thanksgiving holiday tournament. Last game overall, not just for the two teams involved in this game, Taylorville and Civic Memorial. This game is set to decide who wins the tournament this season. It's going to take all the Taylorville players stepping up in this game, even compared to what they've had to do so far this season. You're taking a look on Tommy TV at Peyton DeMichael. She got 4 points last time out in the game against Mount Zion. Peyton DeMichael, especially a good three-point, well, she's a good three-point shooter. She's also been actually quite good this season so far from the free throw line. I remember watching her actually in one of the practices before any of the games happened, and I was watching a little bit of all the players as well, but I happened to notice that Peyton DeMichael did not miss a single free throw in what they were practicing. So I imagine she'll try to be active in the paint when her side is on offense. Now, I mentioned Civic Memorial earlier, certainly a strong team on their end, and we'll see what they're able to produce. There on Tommy TV, you're taking a look at Nora Thomas, another one of the players who's been really forced to step up. Actually, she was a player who was really thrown into the starting lineup. We weren't totally sure who that fifth player was going to be. So far, it's proven to be Nora Thomas. 3 points last time out, 8 in a dominant win against Jacksonville. The scoreline there was 61-24, so Taylorville really cruised in front in that game. The other results for the Tornadoes, a 51-36 defeat against Hillsborough. That's what led off this season. And then a 37-32 overtime win against Rochester. As we welcome you back to my commentary position on Tommy TV, I'm Reed Kamai. It was an overtime win. That was a tight one near the end of it, and it looked for much of the game, certainly in the first half, like Rochester was going to be the one who would cruise to victory in that game. And credit to Taylorville, they really pulled back and won that one. And then, of course, a comfortable win against Jacksonville in the second of two games on the Saturday, on that first weekend of the tournament, before a tight win on Friday against Mount Zion. And in fact, this game that we're about to watch was supposed to take place last Saturday, but it was postponed because of the snowy weather. Here's the fight song. There is the Taylorville Tornado fight song that you just heard. We'll continue our build up to this game between Taylorville and Civic Memorial in girls basketball, but first let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on 96.5 The Chill. Tornado girls basketball on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. I'm going to have to wait to do the ID pauses until after the players come out, because it is certainly nice to see them come out. They do that coming out of the locker rooms right after the fight song. And do the players who you can see warming up right now on Tommy TV. I do want to talk a little bit about Civic Memorial. They are 4-0 to start the season. All the games they've played so far have come in this tournament. Dominant wins all around. 50-24 was the result. Was the scoreline over Rochester in a comfortable win. Against Jacksonville, they won 56-10. Mount Zion, the scoreline there was 55-24. And then against Hillsborough, it was 66-27. Overall, going back to last season, they've won 9 of their last 10. Their only defeat was their only playoff game last season, a 59-56 loss against Marion. Now, this matchup is certainly expected to be a difficult one for Taylorville. You can look at Civic Memorial score lines this season. You could also look at the way this matchup has gone in recent years. Civic has won 11 of the last 12 meetings, and the only time the Taylorville Tornadoes actually beat them in those 12 meetings was back on the 19th of November in 2022. So Taylorville might be wanting to repeat some of that magic from 5 years ago tonight when they face Civic Memorial. Again, this is effectively a cup final. Whoever wins this game wins the Thanksgiving holiday tournament that is kicking off this season. Civic Memorial 4-0 in that tournament so far. Taylorville 3-1. So plenty on the line in this game, and I think Taylorville will fancy making this one quite difficult for Civic Memorial. That will certainly be what they try to do, and you can see my view is getting blocked a little bit because it is time now for the national anthem as we get closer to this game between Taylorville and Civic Memorial here on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV.
Rise. Gentlemen, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem. Well, let's meet tonight's starting lineup. First for the visitors, the Eagles of Civic Memorial High School. At forward, a 5'7" senior, number 12, Isabel Edwards. At forward, a 5'11" junior, number 22, Allie Tretchler. At guard, a 5'10" junior, number 5, Addie Jeffrey. At guard, a 5'6" senior, number 4, Marley Ogden. And at guard, a 5'6" senior, number 1, Marley Durbin. The Eagles are coached by Jeff Durbin. And now, here is the starting lineup for your Taylorville Tornadoes. At forward, a 5'9" junior, number 35, Nora Thomas. At forward, a 5'9" junior, number 24, Grace Rogers. At forward, a 5'10" senior, number 12, Bailey Jackson. At a guard, a 5'4" junior, number 3, Hope Kitzman. And at guard, a 5'2" senior, number 4, Peyton DeMichael. The Tornadoes are coached by Hayden Eldred, assisted by Kevin Kitzman, Tad McCullough, and Kara Thomas.
Tornado girls basketball here on 96.5 Chill and Tommy TV. Look there at the starting lineups for Taylorville: Hope Kitzman, Peyton DeMichael, Bailey Jackson, Grace Rogers, and Nora Thomas. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, sponsored by CTI. Taylorville's got to shoot well against this Civic team. They are not going to make a lot of mistakes. They got to guard the perimeter. That was a struggle in the game against Mount Zion, and Grace Rogers has got to stay out of foul trouble. Getting ready for the tip-off here, sponsored by McDonald's, where I'm loving it and they love the Tornadoes. Addie Jeffrey versus Bailey Jackson, and Jeffrey wins the tip, and Civic has the ball and gets this game underway. I'll share their starting lineup once I get a chance here as Civic attacks from right to left in their purple kits, gold letters and numbers. It's over on the near corner, then near wing with Marley Durbin, and she gets it from 3. I think they're saying it's 3. And it's a quick 3-0 lead. Confirmation that it is a 3 for Marley Durbin, the senior. Quick dribble in from Nora Thomas, and she lays it in, coming in from the left side. So quick response from Grace Rogers. Well, Rogers is getting involved as we expected, but Civic attacks quickly. Right corner from, that is Allie Truchler, and she sinks the 3. So a couple of threes early. Taylorville struggling to guard the perimeter, as it is 6-2 in favor of Civic early in this game. Steal from Marley Durbin and passed to Danny Earl. Oh, no, sorry, that's not Danny Earl. That's Allie Truchler, who lays it in from the right side. So she's up to 5 early points, and Taylorville back the other way. It's a scoring spree as Bailey Jackson lays it in from the right side. And it is 8-4 in favor of Civic. Here comes Civic back the other way. Ogden, top, then out to Durbin, left corner, or left wing rather. Durbin, then back to left corner. An exchange between those two players. Now to the left wing, and it's Ogden for 3, and that one's short off the rim, and rebounded by Peyton DeMichael. 8-4 Civic. Quick pass to Jackson over the top, and she's able to lay it in. She gets past the Civic defense. They weren't paying attention, and already a timeout called by Civic Memorial. It's a 30-second timeout, as the coach will just have a quick word with his players. Let me just quickly go through the starting lineups. Man, that was a lot of action packed into just the first minute and 39 seconds. The starting lineup for Civic Memorial: Marley Durbin, Marley Ogden, Addie Jeffrey, Isabel Edwards, and Allie Truchler. That's the lineup named by the head coach, Jeff Durbin. So there are actually 4 Durbins across these two squads today, if you count Civic's head coach, Jeff Durbin. So it is Civic Memorial 8, Taylorville 6, 6:21 left in the first quarter. Already a lot of action jam-packed into this game so far. A couple early threes from Civic, but Taylorville has responded, and the Eagles, as they're called, from Bethalto, get us going again. They're attacking from right to left. Durbin, a couple quick passes to Edwards, and then the lay-in from Truchler. Well, she's already up to 7 points on the game. And it's 10-6 in favor of Civic. There's Peyton DeMichael now on the left side, getting it across on the pass to Kitzman. Then left wing, driving in is, I don't know who that was, I think. Well, either way, the foul is called, and it will be inbounded on the floor. They say it was not in a shot, and it looks like that is Addie Jeffrey, who has been whistled for the foul. So Taylorville inbounds it. Hope Kitzman's got it, and then she plays it to the right corner, and the early 3 is an air ball from Peyton DeMichael, and then the follow-up again from Kitzman. That also misses, just a bit long off the rim, rebounded by Marley Durbin. And a couple of quick passes, then Addie Jeffrey from under the basket gets her first points of the game, and it's 12-6 Civic Memorial. Taylorville playing really quickly, but it's given away. Kitzman had it stolen, and a quick pass to Marley Ogden, and she was totally unmarked and is able to just lay that one right in. Timeout called by Hayden Eldred. This one's also a 30-second timeout. It's 14-6 in favor of Civic Memorial. They have actually done all of the scoring since Jeff Durbin, the Civic head coach, called the timeout earlier. So now it's Taylorville who's got to take a moment to just catch their breath. A lot of action so far in this game. Civic with a couple of those early scores. Now, at that previous timeout, both teams had scored 3 baskets, but Civic had a couple of threes, and that put them 2 points ahead at that point. Then 6 unanswered since that timeout from the Eagles of Civic Memorial. That's put them up 14-6. Now Kitzman inbounds from her own end line. And it's across on the right side to Grace Rogers. That's who it's with. Grace Rogers tries to drive in. Oh, but she's had that taken from her. I think she just dribbled it off her foot. Quick pass over the top. Right side to Ogden. Ogden turns around, looking for a pass. She finds right wing Edwards, and that one's a long air ball, and it bounces out of bounds. Both teams playing very quickly, Civic especially with some of their passing. I was watching some of it actually during the pre-match warm-ups. They had a pretty complex and fast-paced passing routine. I don't think Taylorville's been ready for it. And DeMichael just taking that across, had that one poked out of her hand. Now Civic can go back the other way. Right now it's Marley Durbin who's taken that across court. 4:58 left, 14-6 in favor of Civic Memorial. Durbin, pass across, and that was tipped by Kitzman and gathered by Nora Thomas. Now she's got to get that across. She finds Grace Rogers on the right side. She's at the wing, and she takes the three right against the coverage, and that's off backboard and not rim, and rebounded by Jeffrey. Addie Jeffrey cuts across, and she is fouled as she drives in, and that will be free throws for Addie Jeffrey. And it looks like that was Hope Kitzman, the player who is guilty of the foul. So we're seeing our first free throws in this game so far. 4:34 left. And it's Addie Jeffrey who steps up, and that one takes a couple bounces off the rim and misses. Couple of substitutions as we see Thea Sousley check in for Taylorville along with Audrey Frankfurt for Civic. Now here comes the second free throw from Addie Jeffrey off the front of the rim and out. Little scrum for the ball, and who got the last touch? They say it's Taylorville ball. To me, actually perhaps like Max Simplecamp got the last touch, but the referees disagree. So with 4:29 left, Taylorville down by 8. They get the ball back. It's inbounded left side to Kitzman, then across to Sousley, across the midline now to Grace Rogers. She does a little Euro step, lays it in, but can't. It's off the rim and then rebounded by Isabel Edwards. Three from the top by Ogden, and the shooting's kind of gone flat and they say it's free throws for Civic Memorial on a foul there. Not totally sure what it was, but either way, Bailey Jackson is the player whistled. It looked like there was a scrum for the ball. Maybe a jump ball was going to be called, but it's not. So Isabel Edwards is the player who goes to the line for Civic. And she makes the first one, first made free throw from Civic in this game. So it's 15-6. Make that 16-6 as the second free throw goes in. Taylorville unable to score since that earlier timeout called by Civic. Here's Grace Rogers. She takes it across the midline to the left side. And there's a quick give and go as it's back across, and the pass to Thea Sousley misses her. That was thrown right underneath the basket. And she looked like she just kind of stumbled as she tried to reach for it. It was a bit of an awkward position for her. More substitutions. Peyton DeMichael comes back on. Joe Durbin comes on. And so too does Nora Thomas. So she started the game, so comes back into the fold. 16-6 in favor of Civic Memorial. 3:41 left in the first quarter. Left wing, Bryn Helming. Then right wing to Marley Ogden. Back to the middle, and a shot from the paint is out, but then rebounded, and I think that was Audrey Frankfurt who took that one as Taylorville calls timeout, and we'll do the same thing here. You're listening to Tornado Girls Basketball on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. Civic Memorial leads 18-6 with 3:24 left in the first. Tornado girls basketball on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. Civic Memorial leads the Tornadoes 18-6 with 3:24 left in the first quarter. I'm Reed Kamai, doing this one solo, or trying to do it solo, but this game has been run at a really fast pace. Thea Sousley now. And on the left side, top of the three, hands it to Durbin, still at the top of the three, a little give and go with Simple Camp, and then the pass in on the right side to, that was Thea Sousley. She tried to lay it in, but it missed, and rebounded, driven up quickly by Isabel Edwards, now top of the three, as it's right corner to, again, Edwards, and that three is long off the top of the rim. Rebounded initially there by Frankfurt, and it's then gathered by Addie Jeffrey, who's in the front court at the top. 2 minutes, 50 left. Civic Memorial up 12. Pass now into the lane, right side, low post, and it's laid in by Isabel Edwards. She's now up to 4 points in the game. That's actually her first field goal, and it is 20-6 in favor of Civic Memorial. Well, we knew this one would be tough for Taylorville. It's proving to be exactly that. Now left wing, Thomas. Pass across, oh, that's good to Sousley, but a bit risky. She tried to lay it in off the backboard, didn't find the rim, rebounded, and that's a 2-and-1, and I think that was Nora Thomas who collected it. She laid that one in beautifully. Just awaiting who is whistled for the foul, and I think they're saying it's Andre Frankfurt. So it's a couple of free throws, just one free throw for Nora Thomas, and she made the original basket. And the free throw is sponsored by the Senior Citizens of Christian County. I should say that the timeout earlier was sponsored by Taylorville Community Credit Union. And the shot is off the backboard out and rebounded by Civic Memorial. So she's unable to take advantage of the free throw. And the foul that time called by Simple Camp over near the Taylorville bench. Just a slight push there on, I think that was Mariana Silva. That's the player who was involved there. So now Addie Edwards has it. She inbounds right side to Truchler. And back to Jeffrey, and she takes the three and nails it. A couple feet away from the free throw line as well. So she nails the three. It is 23-8 in favor of Civic Memorial. 2 minutes left in the first quarter. This game quickly getting away from the Tornadoes. Joe Durbin, the three there was blocked, and I think that was Silva who got her hand to it. And Civic tries to break quickly. Taylorville attempted to press in the back court. Left corner now. Now left wing. Addie Jeffrey has got it. Jeffrey then over to Silva. Silva on the left wing. Back top front court. Addie Jeffrey. And the three now from Helming from the right wing is off the backboard back to her. A couple of players fight for it, and it is Civic ball as it goes out of bounds. 3 substitutions each from each team. We're going to keep track of everyone involved. Marley Durbin has come back into the game. I think that's Isabel Edwards doing the same thing for Civic. 1:31 left, and Civic looking for more points here. Right wing, right corner. Now front, now left wing, and that is Edwards who takes the three. Short on the left side, off the rim, and rebounded by Joe Durbin. Hands it to Kitzman as Taylorville tries to break the other way, looking for some kind of score from themselves. Three from the right corner is out, a bit long. It's on the ground. And possession is given. No, I think the timeout was called. No, the timeout was called. We'll take one as well. 30 seconds here on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. 1:10 left, and it is 23-8 Civic Memorial. Tornado girls basketball on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. It is 23-8 for Civic Memorial with 1:10 left in the first quarter. Civic Memorial looks set to defend the Thanksgiving Holiday Tournament title that they had won in 6 of the last 7 seasons. Now at the top, Marley Durbin. Left wing now to Ogden, who attempts the three and gets it. Maybe just a slight touch off the rim as well. I think that is the 4th three-pointer in this game for Civic Memorial, and it is 26-8. Right now, Taylorville just struggling to get out of the backcourt as Kitzman had it, then looks for the pass to a wide-open Bailey Jackson, but can't lay it in from the lane. And then the follow-up, that time from Nora Thomas. She gets that one from low post on the left side. She's now up to 4 points, and it is 26-10 as Taylorville gets into double digits finally. Civic attacking the other way. Right corner to Edwards, and she goes into short corner and takes that one. And that one comes off the rim and out, and then the three from Marley Durbin, and she hits it from the top. 6 points now for Durbin as they all come from the three-point line, or behind the three-point line, I should say. And can Taylorville score? 2 seconds left. Looking for the quick shot, Kitzman, and she was able to hold on to it and just find a pass, but obviously not enough time for a shot. Well, after one quarter, it is Civic 29, Taylorville 10, here on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. Tornado Girls Basketball on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. I'm Reed Kamai. It is Civic 29, Taylorville 10 as we go into the second quarter of this game. It's the last one in the Thanksgiving holiday tournament, and it's Civic Memorial very much in control. Taylorville's got it, but the ball is given away as it's recovered by Edwards on a pass into the underside of the basket, and she's able to lay it in from pretty much the identical position, of course, on the other side of the court, and it's 31-10 Civic. 7:41 left in the second. Grace Rogers has got it as she's driving across. And that pass is stolen. A couple of turnovers early from Taylorville in the second quarter. Addie Jeffrey tries to lay it in herself, and she does so. I think that was actually Marley Durbin who did so, as it is 33-10 now. Now Taylorville's just got to take care of the ball. Possibly just being a little bit too ambitious as it's laid into Thomas, or rather that was Grace Rogers, and she's fouled on the turning shot there. And I think they're saying that will be free throws. And I think Truchler is the player who was whistled, so she picks up a foul. And Grace Rogers takes the first of her 2 free throws and makes it. These free throws sponsored by the senior citizens of Christian County. So Civic Memorial now leads 33-33 divided by 3, or 11. 7:17 left in the second quarter. The second free throw is up and in. We know Grace Rogers to have a lot of experience from the free throw line, and she is substituted, given a much-needed rest as Max Simplecamp comes on in her place. So it's 33-12 now, as Civic's got it. A couple of quick passes as they take it out to the right corner, and it's Ogden who takes the 3 and scores it. That's her second 3 of the game. She's up to 8 points. It is 36-12 now, as Civic again tripling up Taylorville. And that 3 from the right wing is off the rim and then off the apparatus, so that suspends play and gives Civic the ball. I don't think I've seen that sort of thing happen before. Seen plenty of wedgies. Ball's going off the top of the rim, but that's a first. Anyway, Civic's got it, up 36-12. Right side now, Ogden. Then the pass across. Oh, it was looking for Frankfurt right underneath the basket, but out of her reach and out of bounds. Taylorville ball. Taylorville had struggled at the top of this quarter, taking care of the ball. And even at other times in this game as well. Quick pass to Jackson along the left, and then she cuts in and lays it in from right underneath the basket. 6 points now for Bailey Jackson. So far the highest scorer for Taylorville, as she was in the first 3 games. 36-14. 6:10 left in the second quarter. couple of passes now between Marley Durbin and Marley Ogden, the two Marleys on the Civic team. And now Durbin in the front court is directing traffic. Finds Frankfurt, then left wing to Helming, and that pass catches just a bit of the rim, and then a shot and a foul. Audrey Frankfurt draws the foul, and she'll go to the line. Just awaiting confirmation on who committed the foul, but Frankfurt, the junior, who's already got 2 points in this game, goes to the line, and that one comes off the rim and out. I think they're saying it's Thea Susley who committed the foul, and that checks out considering she is on the court. So here comes the second of the two free throws for Frankfurt, and that one misses as well off the top of the rim. Rebounded by Bailey Jackson, then to Simple Camp. Simple Camp across to Susley, and she cuts into the paint, then back out. Right side then, now left, as cutting in is Simple Camp. And then Simple Camp takes the three attempt, and that one comes off the front of the rim, a swat for the ball, and it came off a Civic player. Looked like a couple of players got themselves involved there as Taylorville gets the ball back. Now what's going on here? I think there was another touch off a Civic player, and again, Taylorville will inbound. Now it's inbounded, then to Lily Durbin, then out to Durbin again from the right wing, now right corner, and the three that time from, I think that was Kitzman, was an air ball, and then played out, and it's Civic ball. A couple of substitutions for Civic. See, one of the players coming back in, it looks like, is Allie Truchler. She's had a good game so far, 7 points for her. And it is 36-14, 5 minutes left in the second quarter as the three that time, nothing but net from Marley Ogden, her third three-pointer this game, and it is 39-14. 4:48 left as a hold call that time against Marley Durbin as she was guarding Hope Kitzman. I don't think anyone on either team is on 2 fouls.
Well, make that second team foul.
Nearly a line change from Taylorville, as I think only Bailey Jackson keeps her spot out on the court. So here it is to be inbounded by Joe Durbin. Finds Grace Rogers right in the front court, top. Then drifts to the left, hands it to Joe Durbin. She was looking to cut there. And now it's with Grace Rogers again. Then she finds Peyton DeMichael over on the right corner. Then back to Rogers at the top. Left wing, left corner, then the three from Bailey Jackson is an air ball long, rebounded, and going across quickly is Ogden, and the foul is called for the push there. And they said it was on the floor. And the foul called against, I think that is, yeah, that would have to be Bailey Jackson. That's her second foul of the game, so that'll be something potentially to keep an eye on. But Marley Ogden was otherwise loose, as you can see here on Tommy TV. No other players in front of her. And I think Jackson would have just felt she had no choice but to commit the foul. It's in play again. Left corner now. Now across to the right corner, a long pass. Right wing now. Ogden had that one stolen away on the intercept by Nora Thomas. Now she's struggling to get out of the back court. Then finds Peyton DeMichael all the way across. Now it's across, and a quick lay-in. That's a good one from mid-post on the left side by Nora Thomas. 6 points for her on the game, and it is 39-16 in favor of Civic. Taylorville's had a couple of bright moments here and there in the second quarter, but otherwise it's been difficult for them to establish anything. Pass into Jeffrey, and then from the paint she turned and draws the foul on the shot, so she'll go to the line. And another foul from Bailey Jackson. That's her third on the game. So I imagine she'll be coming off momentarily. And it does look like Thea Susley is coming on. And the free throw there from Addie Jeffrey is off the front of the rim and misses. So indeed, Jackson is sent over to the bench. Really the only case of remote foul trouble in this game. And certainly the important thing is that Grace Rogers is the player who stays out of foul trouble. She needs to be an asset in the paint, as that second free throw does go in, and Jeffrey adds to her tally. She's now up to 6 points on the game, and it is 40-16 in favor of Civic Memorial. 3:39 left in the second quarter. Joe Durbin's got it, then plays it across as they get across half court to Susley. And that pass, did it come off a Civic player? It did. There were 3 Civic players around her. And I think she would have been looking for Susley, who in this case is to inbound the ball. 3:29 left in the second quarter. Pass in there, Nora Thomas, and she planted her foot, so then had to give it up. Now it's Thomas, 3 from up top, and she sinks it. Nora Thomas with the 3. And that's Taylorville's first 3 since the game against Jacksonville. They didn't have any last time out and none previously in this game. So it is 40-19 in favor of Civic, and the steal that time on a pass. That was poor from Edwards, and it's with Grace Rogers again. That pass, it came off Thomas last as it was played underneath the basket through the lane, and it is Civic ball. That 3 points, by the way, another $3 coming from Scooter's Coffee to the Taylorville Sports Boosters. 2:55 left, and it is 40-19. Civic Memorial leading by a wide margin. Marley Durbin. She's got it at the top. Then right wing, right corner. Then played inside to the lane, and a driving shot. That went behind the backboard, but off a Taylorville player, so Civic gets it back. Remember, no shot clocked in this situation here, or in this game. So it's to be inbounded by Marley Durbin. Oh, and that was a poor pass. I think Mariana Silva and Isabel Edwards were unsure about who was supposed to collect that one. No one touched it, and it went out of bounds. So Taylorville gets it back. They've got a chance to maybe establish something here. Inbounded to Joe Durbin. And nearly taken away from Thea Susley, but she gets it back. Taken across now to Grace Rogers, and that pass left low post. And that's a good one there as Nora Thomas lays it in. It's one of the few areas Taylorville's been strong in this game, as Nora Thomas bags the basket, and she's up to 8 points on the game. Worked around now as Civic Memorial's up 40-21, and that one's dribbled off the foot of Isabel Edwards and out of bounds. Wonder if she thought it came off a Taylorville player last. Couple substitutions for Civic as Marley Ogden and Abby Jeffrey come back into the action. Mariana Silva and Bryn Helming, I think, are the players who have been taken off. 2:09 left in the second quarter, 40-21. Stay tuned for halftime. We'll have a look back at the first half and what the two sides need to do in the second. That's coming up right here on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. That pass inside, and it's intercepted by Marley Ogden. Bit poor from Taylorville. Played into Marley Durbin in the lane, and she forces the foul, the blocking foul that time from Thea Susley, as she was looking for the layup. Susley's second foul on the game. And so Marley Durbin is up the line. 1:50 left. I wouldn't imagine either side will be taking any timeouts in what remains in the second quarter. First free throw is up and goes around the rim and out. Civic has been strong all around in this game, really from start to finish. Didn't give Taylorville too much of a chance to get into it, as Durbin does score the second free throw. So it is 41-21 in Civic's favor. 1:44 left, and Joe Durbin in some trouble, and that pass is intercepted, then played out of bounds by Grace Rogers as she tried to get it back, and it's Civic's ball. Two substitutions for Taylorville. Looks like Max Simplecamp and Hope Kitzman have come back into the action. 1:38 left in the second quarter, and it is 41-21 in favor of Civic. They look like they're on their way to a 7th Thanksgiving holiday tournament title in 8 attempts. And the three from Durbin from the left corner took a few bounces off the rim and was out. And the foul is called against Jeffrey, as there was a bit of a scrum for the ball. The referee's determining that the Civic player was the one guilty. It's her second foul of the game. Taylorville's got it back. Might be able to maybe just cut a little bit into the deficit before the intermission. And that pass left corner to Thomas. That one's off the rim and out and rebounded by Ogden. Quick pass to Durbin, left corner. Shot there from Jeffrey. That would have been 3. Off the top of the rim, out. Rebounded by Edwards. Then taken out the top, and she traveled. And just after that, Ogden had attempted a 3, which of course would not have counted, and it had gone in. Nothing but net. Instead, it's nothing, period. 58 seconds left in the second quarter. 41-21 Civic. Hope Kitzman trying to get out the backcourt, guarded by Marley Durbin. Close guarding there. As she does eventually get across, does really well to do so. Pass left corner, then played in as they drive in. And the floater by Simplecamp off the top of the rim and out rebounded as it's with Edwards for Civic. And some supporters looking for a foul by one of the Civic players. 30 seconds left. Pass at the front court as they were forced back, Civic. That was Ogden. Then right side to Jeffrey. Now left corner to Durbin, or rather left wings. Still left wing, Ogden, 16 seconds left, right side, front court, Edwards. And actually a bit of a collision there as nothing's called, 7 seconds left. Right side, Jeffrey looking to drive, instead finds Edwards in the lane. That throw missed it, and the follow-up, they were just looking for a long 3 at that point, but wasn't anywhere near the basket as it got a little physical between the two teams at the end of the second quarter, but otherwise still dominant from Civic Memorial. They lead 41-21 here at halftime in what is effectively, of course, the title decider in the Thanksgiving holiday tournament. Well, we'll take a little break. When we come back, we'll take a look back at the first half and again, what the two teams need to do in the second half, as it is 41-21 in favor of Civic Memorial over Taylorville here on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. Tornado Girls basketball here on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. Welcome to halftime in this game between Taylorville and Civic Memorial. I'm Reed Kamai. Thanks for sticking with us in this game. It is currently 41-21 in favor of Civic Memorial. They have really dominated this game from wire to wire. It was 29-10 after the first quarter. Taylorville did actually only lose the second quarter by 1 point, 12 points for Civic in that second quarter, and just 11 for Taylorville. Taking a look at some of the top scorers, we'll actually start with Civic since they're the ones leading this one by a wide margin. And leading the scoring by a wide margin is Marley Ogden. She's got 11 points on the game so far. And then Allie Truchler, she has got 7 points, 6 for Isabel Edwards. And then actually another one of the top scorers, Marley Durbin, she's got 9. Addie Jeffrey has got 6. And then Audrey Frankfurt has 2 points for Civic Memorial. If I've added that all up correctly, I hope I didn't miss anyone. And then the top scorers for Taylorville, Nora Thomas is leading the way by my count with 8. Grace Rogers has, looks like 7 points, if I have counted that up correctly, and Bailey Jackson has 6, so only 3 Taylorville players actually doing any scoring in this game so far. Taylorville has struggled to take care of the ball, so that's going to be something that they'll need to fix up in the second half. They've had quite a few turnovers. I have lost count, but certainly a lot of rather ambitious passes that they're making. They've really had trouble, certainly at the start of the game, keeping up with some of the passing that Civic Memorial was doing. I was talking at one point during the game about some of the passing drills that Civic Memorial had done in their warm-ups, and it looked certainly quite complex. I'm sure it's something they've practiced a lot, and they've really just cut Taylorville open in this game so far, as they look set to come away as champions of the Thanksgiving holiday tournament. I've mentioned this would be the 3rd straight for Civic Memorial and the 7th in 8 seasons for the Eagles. Now, they've done it under a couple of different head coaches. This would be the 2nd under Jeff Durbin, and then they had a couple others as there's been a little bit of turnover at the head coaching position for Civic Memorial. Well, let me just take a quick look at a couple of Taylorville's upcoming games. They are away to Williamsville on, I believe that would be Thursday, and then they host Mahomet Seymour on Saturday. Now, we did actually just learn today they've got another game added to their schedule. It is after that Mahomet Seymour game on Tuesday, they travel to Springfield Lanphier, and we understand that one is going to tip off at 7. And so we'll, of course, have coverage of it for you right here on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. Let me remind you that our coverage on 96.5 The Chill is sponsored by your Taylorville McDonald's, where I'm loving it and they love the Tornadoes. It is also sponsored by Taylorville Community Credit Union, the senior citizens of Christian County, Country Financial Agent Nicole Patrick, and Scooters Coffee. Let's take one more break, and when we come back, we'll have the second half between Taylorville and Civic Memorial. The Eagles lead this one 41-21 here on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. Third quarter starting up here on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. I'm Reed Kamai. It's 41-21 in favor of Civic Memorial ahead of Taylorville. And a quick start to the third quarter as Civic has got it. Left side, left corner as it's over to Marley Durbin. Now right wing, cutting in and out, and then cross to the left wing. Left wing is Marley Ogden. Then three from the top of the three from Isabel Edwards, and it's drilled. Her first three of the game, and she is now up to 9 points, and it's 44-21 in favor of Civic. Taylorville looking for some sort of response, but it's stolen away, and it's with Marley Ogden, and she lays it in from the right side. Now she's up to 13 points, and it is 46-21. Taylorville conceding some early points here in the third quarter. Now the couple of passes here as it's Grace Rogers, and she lays that one in. A couple of passes involved for her, and Rogers, one of just 3 scores at all for Taylorville in this game, the others being Bailey Jackson and Nora Thomas. So it is 46 divided by 2, 46-23 in favor of Civic Memorial. Durbin, top of the 3, and that one almost an air ball, short, and it's gathered easily by Hope Kitzman as she takes it across looking for Peyton DeMichael on the long pass, but it's intercepted by Marley Ogden. A couple of quick passes as she drives in and gets the 2 and 1. Marley Ogden laying that one in and draws a little bit of contact from, it looks like that was Hope Kitzman for her second foul of the game. So Ogden goes to the line. .48-23, 6:32 left in the third quarter, and the free throw goes in. Only one player in really any significant foul trouble, and that is Bailey Jackson. She's got 3. Of course, slightly more comfortable now that we're in the third quarter, but still has to be careful. Taylorville's got it now, down 49-23. And it's Thomas driving in from the left side, took a couple bounces. That looked promising, but it stays out, and it's rebounded by Ogden. Ogden's had a really good third quarter so far. She's got it, but the 3 from left wing by Marley Durbin. Couple bounces off the rim, out rebounded by Peyton DeMichael. Then pass to Bailey Jackson on the left side. Then she drives in low post left side, and she lays it in. 8 points for her. Just under a third of Taylorville's scoring in this game. It's 49-25. 5:48 left. Reminder, we could have a running clock if there's a 30-point margin, which we are certainly approaching. Left wing, left corner, then past short corner, then top of the 3 is Ogden, and she takes that one. Couple bounces off the rim, out left side, rebounded by Nora Thomas, and she's struggling to get out the back there. Did she take that one out of, no, timeout is called, and I'll take one as well. It is 5:30 left in the third quarter, 49-25 in favor of Civic Memorial on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. Tornado Girls Basketball on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. It is 49-25 in favor of Civic Memorial as Taylorville's got it now. And it's with Hope Kitzman in the back court. She has to take the long pass to Grace Rogers. Actually a bit of a high one, almost more like a shot. Then back to Kitzman along the right sideline. Front court there as it's Grace Rogers. And she turns and looks for the shot in the paint. Couple bounces off the rim, out in front to Addie Jeffrey. And Civic races back quickly. Something they've done, and the steal that time from Grace Rogers, stealing it away from Ogden. Looking for the long pass to Jackson, and she tries to lay it in for the left side, rolls off the rim and out front, and rebounded, but lost there. Oh, but poked away by Jackson, so it does stay with Civic Memorial. 49-25, Civic Memorial, 4:54 left in the third quarter. Right now it's with Marley Durbin, who is currently up to 9 points on the game. Pass there to Jeffrey. Jeffrey at the left wing. Still Jeffrey, and she takes the 3, and that was a good shot, but off the top of the rim and out to Grace Rogers. Rogers takes it across, looks for the great pass to Jackson, and that's where she's laid those in. Does it again from the left low post. She's up to 10 points on the game. And Rogers and Jackson, they've been able to link up in that sort of pass. That's really been one of the few successful areas for Taylorville in this game. It is 49-27. Pass in, looking for, it actually does find Truchler, and she's able to just march right in and lay it in from underneath the basket. 9 points for her on the game, 51-27. It's with Grace Rogers, looks for the pass to Kitzman, now to the right wing. Right wing to Michael. Right wing again to Rogers as she wraps around. She takes the three from the top, and that's off the front of the rim and out. Rebounded initially by Addie Jeffrey, then handed over to Ogden. 3:42 left, 51-27, and two-pointer from the foul line. Out, rebounded, then Jeffrey, and that shot again, also off the top of the rim and out. Left side, Bryn Held, that's Taylorville. Sorry, I'm mixing the players up. A couple of players getting involved there. Of course, the players change sides at halftime. One of the Taylorville players is down as it is rebounded there. And one of the Civic players has respectfully actually gone back over to check on her. And play is stopped because of the injury. And it was Nora Thomas who actually was left on the ground. You can see on the replay on Tommy TV just what happened there. She is on her knees right now, just getting checked out by the coaching staff. Just waiting to see how this transpires. We may go to break if she remains down. No, she is up on her feet, so we will keep it here on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. And Rogers is up on her feet. She's headed over. It looks like she will take a seat on the bench. I've already seen one Taylorville player get injured. That was Gigi Tarr. She had gone off with a left knee injury against Jacksonville. I'd actually meant to mention her earlier. She was having that looked at by an orthopedic surgeon. We wish her well in her recovery from that. Same goes for Nora Thomas after what looked like an injury scare there. But we resume play here with Civic up 51-27. And that was the right side to Frankfurt, and she had gone up, rebound scrum on the ground. Who comes away with it? It was a Civic player, but she did so out of bounds. Fast action here from both of these teams. We saw that certainly at the start of the game. Slow down a little bit, except for on this occasion, over on the Taylorville end of the court. But the Tornadoes have it back, down 24 points. 2:48 left in the third quarter. That is Grace Rogers. Right wing to Durbin, Lily Durbin for the three, and that takes a couple bounces off the rim, out, rebounded, and it's with Edwards, and the quick pass over to the left low post, and laying that one in was, I think that was Addie Jeffrey. I'm going to give it to her. And she's up to 8 points on the game, if I'm correct there. And the three, this time from Grace Rogers from the right corner, is just a bit short. Maybe got a tough shot at the rim, rebounded, and played across, and looking for the basket underneath was Frankfurt. That one came off the bottom and rebounded, that time by Susley, as Taylorville goes back the other way. Now both teams just struggling for a little bit to shoot here. Susley, three from the left wing, up and out. 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Here goes Civic again, 53-27. Slight shout there for backcourt from Jeffrey, but she's got it nonetheless. Now just backs up a bit. Now to the top to Marley Durbin. It's gone a bit quiet here, as you can hear. Audrey Frankfurt, the shot from the free throw line, and that one's off the top of the rim, rebounded by, that was Edwards, and they say she stepped out of bounds. A couple of substitutions here as Marley Ogden and Mariana Silva come back in, and Marley Durbin and Addie Jeffrey are the players taken off. Allie Truchler is also coming on in place of Isabel Edwards. Civic Memorial rotating their players ahead of some more away fixtures for them. Mascouda, Jersey, and Edwardsville their opponents, but here comes Taylorville. That is Max Simplecamp at the top, and the pass to Lily Durbin. She was under all kinds of pressure, had trouble making that pass, and it went out of bounds. So it is with Civic, 1:20 left in the third quarter. 53-27. And it is with Helming on the left wing. A couple passes inside, and layup from the bottom is missed. Took a bounce off the top. top follow-up, same outcome from Silva. That one again out of bounds. No, a foul was called. I think Helming is the guilty party here. Bailey Jackson comes back on, and Grace Rogers takes a seat on the bench. I'm a bit surprised about that substitution since both of those players have linked up real well throughout this game. One of the few strong points for Taylorville. Last minute of the third quarter. Foul that time committed by Frankfurt. That's her second as she committed that one against Susley. That's on the floor. And that is Civic's second foul. Neither team has gotten into team foul trouble at all in this game. And that pass that was into Simple Camp. She ran into a Civic player. No foul called. And Civic breaks the other way. And the three that time from, I think that was Helming, was off. And that one's played back out to Ogden. Then across into the middle left low post. And the foul that time called, and they say that wasn't a shot. Didn't look to me like too much of a shot, but either way, Thea Susley commits her third foul of the game. And that sends Audrey Frankfurt to the line. She so far has just 2 points on the game. I feel like I've said her name many more times than for the points she has scored, and the first free throw is missed. A couple substitutions for Civic as Ella Jeffrey comes on, and so too does Danny Earl. Now I will note that I think it probably has to do with all the snow. There have been a couple leaks in this part of the gym where I'm sat at as the second free throw goes in. And one of them came right off one of the trash bins that has been placed near me and got me right in the eye. So I was a little distracted there. The three from the left wing by Max Simplecamp is off the rim and out. And rebounded, but stolen away. Taylorville could have some easy points for them, and it's laid in by Simplecamp, who took the earlier attempt. And she's got herself on the board. Only the fourth different Taylorville player to have scored in this game. 12 seconds left in the third quarter, 54-29. Can they get some more points here, Civic? And they look like it as the shot from Silva from the free throw line is missed, rebounded. That one came off the rim, and the follow-up there by Joe Durbin from the halfway line. That was never likely to cause any trouble, but it is 54-29 in Civic's favor as we get to the end of the third quarter as they look set to clinch this title here in the Thanksgiving Holiday Tournament here on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. Tornado Girls Basketball on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. Grace Rogers on the left short corner, then plays it across as we're at the start of the fourth quarter. And the three that time from Nora Thomas is sunk from the right wing. She's up to 11 points on the game, Nora Thomas, as it's 54-32 in favor of Civic Memorial. On 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV, I'm Reed Kamai. 7:30 left in the fourth quarter. Civic's got it now on the right side. Forced the pass off Bailey Jackson, but they get it back. And that ball is to Ogden on the right, or the left wing, now right wing, to Jeffrey. Now Marley Durbin at the top. Ogden again, Durbin again at the top, low pass, and that's off a leg, and then the subsequent pass is intercepted, and the foul is called against, I think they're going to give it against Addie Jeffrey. Indeed, that is the decision, and she has fouled Grace Rogers. That's Jeffrey's third foul of the game. Inbounded now, back to Kitzman, then into Grace Rogers right in the paint. She has to jump to gather that one, has to pivot a little bit, just looking for someone to pass it to, and she does find Kitzman along the left wing. Kitzman then just dribbles up to the top, then finds DeMichael on the right corner. DeMichael cuts inside, then over to Nora Thomas. She's gotten herself in good positions. Long pass over the top to Rogers, then back to Thomas. Thomas on the right side. Short pass in then to, I think that was Jackson. Then the three from Peyton DeMichael from the right corner, and that is missed off the backside of the rim and then rebounded by Edwards. Pass there on the left side, Ogden. 54-32, 6:20 left. Top of the three with Marley Durbin. Pass in there, and Civic had made a couple of errors there, and now the three attempt from Marley Durbin. That's off the top, rebounded. Oh, that almost went in through the underside of the basket on the follow-up that time from Edwards. Then just dribbling around, then to the three from Jeffrey on the right wing. That one's off the top of the rim, out, and after a little scrum, rebounded by Nora Thomas. Thomas cuts all the way into the lane and looks to lay it in herself, and she does. And she's now up to 13 points on the game. And it is 54-34 for Civic with 5:37 left. Addie Jeffrey now. Up the top, now right wing, still Marley Durbin. Then Addie Jeffrey now on the left wing. She just takes it outside. Civic slows it down quite a bit compared to what they've played so far in this game. And the three that time is off the top of the rim and out. And I think they gave the foul. Looks like they've given it against Edwards. Didn't see too much of what was in it, but that is the decision nonetheless. So Taylorville gets it back, and that three-point attempt, actually could not see who took it. So probably for the better for me that it did not score, but might have found out eventually. Joe Durbin has it now. Taylorville struggling to build out, and timeout is called by Hayden Eldred. We'll take one as well. 5:10 left in the fourth quarter. 54-34 Civic on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. Tornado girls basketball on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. 5:10 left in the game. 54-34, I should say, in Civic Memorial's favor as they look set to clinch the Thanksgiving holiday tournament. Taylorville's got it. Nora Thomas cuts into the front court from the right across to the left. Pass to Bailey Jackson off the top, and she had trouble handling it. Intercepted that time by Truchler, and she's got an open lane to run into. Oh, but she can't lay it in from the right side. Then out of bounds off Grace Rogers as she attempted to rebound it, so Civic gets another chance. Truchler had all the space in the world to run into. Now Civic has another opportunity here. Marley Durbin, and the three that time from, I think that was Ogden, and then rebounded as that came off the top of the rim. Foul that time, and they say it was during a shot. Working to get confirmation of all the players involved, and they say it was. I think they've given it to, was that Nora Thomas? Yeah, it'd have to have been, or sorry, not Nora Thomas, Grace Rogers. As for who's taking the free throws, it is Marley Durbin, and she makes the first one. 4:46 left, it is 55-34, and now it is 56-34 because the second free throw has gone in. And it is Now 11 points for Durbin. Not Durbin, at least, of course, 4 Durbins across these two teams as Bailey Jackson goes for the 2 from the short corner left side, and it's an air ball right side as it's rebounded by Edwards. Takes it across. Oh, Durbin could have taken the 3. And then back over to Edwards, and she takes that one, just a little floater from the foul line. So Edwards bags the basket for Civic. It is 58-34. 4:12 left, and the 3 that time from Nora Thomas from the right side is off the rim and back out front, rebounded by Edwards. Back across, still 58-34. Civic Memorial leading. And they've led quite comfortably really throughout this game. Addie Jeffrey, then across right side, right wing. Still right wing, but less so. Left wing now. Addie Jeffrey again. Civic really taking their time. They've done that throughout this fourth quarter. Unlike in the first quarter when they really brought about that speed in terms of both their footwork and their passing. Durbin then passed it to the middle to Truchler. And the 3 that time is nailed, and I think that was Ogden. She's got a couple 3s in this game, actually 4 to be more specific. 61-34. Now maybe Civic could push this into a running clock margin. 30 points is what they would need. Now Rogers has it and just cuts in from the right wing, wrestling her way through and earning the foul. And I think Addie Jeffrey is the player who is called for that one. Never mind, they're giving it to Truchler. I'm a bit shocked by that decision, but she is the one given the foul. That would have been Jeffrey's 4th. But here goes Nora Thomas to the line. And she misses the first free throw, actually quite a bit to the left. She's made 2 free throws so far in this game. Plenty of substitutions by both teams, 3 more specifically by Civic. And I just got another splash of leak water. So that's the story here. We're almost out of here, and hopefully so too will the leaks once it gets taken care of. But here goes Grace Rogers for the second of these 3 throws, brought to you by the senior citizens of Christian County. And she makes the second one, as there are a couple of substitutions. By the way, the earlier timeout Hayden Eldred called is brought to you by Taylorville Community Credit Union. And stay tuned, we'll name the Chill Nicole Patrick Country Financial Player of the Game. And a couple of close contenders for this one. Wondering who that will end up being. Now Durbin right side to the corner. That was to Helming, and then played into Frankfurt, who can't lay it in from underneath the basket, but it goes out of bounds. It just came off the rim and then back to her and a couple of Tornado players, and that's who it came off last. The Taylorville players receiving a boost from the spectators. 2:45 left in this game as Civic looks to see this one out, and the title should be theirs. They go unbeaten, 5-0 in the tournament and in the season so far. These are all the games they've played. Silva from the right side, and then cut across to the right wing, and that pass, I think it was blocked and intercepted that time by Susley, and that long pass intercepted equally by Bryn Helming. Both teams a bit sloppy with their passing, but certainly Civic in this game has caused a lot of problems for Taylorville. I think they'll just need some more experience there, as Civic actually cannot get out of their back court, so they're called for 10 seconds. They make a couple substitutions. And it's Taylorville with the ball now. 2:12 left in the game. I just look for a couple more scores here to soften the blow of the scoreline. They'll be at 3-2 on the season before their next game away to Williamsville. And that shot from the left wing from Earl, or sorry, not Earl, that's Simplecamp for Taylorville. That was off the rim and out. Taylorville still got it. And it's a held ball, they say, and that goes in favor of Civic. I think it's the first time we've had that called in this game. Seems like it maybe could have happened once or twice more. 1:53 left, Civic with the ball here. They're up by 26 points. They won't quite reach running clock margins, although I suppose there's time for that still. Mariana Silva then out for the 3 from Helming on the right corner, and that's off the rim, nearly rebounded by a teammate, but instead it's with Taylorville. They look to break quickly. Joe Durbin into the lane, then finds Lily Durbin. Then out left wing 3 from Susley. That's off the top of the rim and rebounded. A couple of players getting involved there, and it's Ella Jeffrey who's got it as she takes it across 119 left. And the 3 this time from the right corner is off the rim and out. Out on the far side compared to where the shot took place. And it's back with Taylorville as we creep into the final minute. Across the top to Thea Susley, then Simplecamp. And then Simplecamp steps back and takes the 3 from the right wing, and she nails it. Now 5 points for her in this game. A couple more substitutions. That 3-pointer means another $3 coming from Scooter's Coffee to the Taylorville Sports Boosters. Now 50 seconds left, and it's Civic leading 61-38 as we play out the final seconds of this game. Gonna get one more basket for the road. The long trip back to Bethalto. Earl now kicks it out to Jeffrey, who attempts the 3 from the left corner, and it's out off the front of the rim. Rebounded that time by Silva, and she plays it back out to Helming, who attempts another 3 from the same position off the top, and then rebounded easily by Simplecamp. She didn't have to move. 20 seconds left. Maybe one more attempt at a basket, but that's stolen away on a pass as it's intercepted by Silva. Played back out to that. Come off a Taylorville player. I think they say it did, although there wasn't a signal. 7 seconds left. Is there time for one more basket? Oh, there was potentially a wide open 3. That one goes out of bounds off a Taylorville player. 1.9 seconds left. We'll see if Civic attempts one more basket for the road. It is a long drive. I've done that drive before for football. And it's played in, no attempt made, and that is the end of the game. So a comfortable, comprehensive win by Civic Memorial. It does finish 61-38 on the day against Taylorville, and Civic Memorial is the champion of this year's edition of the Thanksgiving Holiday Tournament. Well, don't go anywhere, because after this break, we'll take a look back at the game that was and hand out today's Chill Nicole Patrick Country Financial Player of the Game. And that's all coming up here on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. Stay tuned.
Bank and Trust for being our tournament sponsor, as well as Subway, Walmart, Angelo's Pizza, and McDonald's for their donations to the hospitality room. At this time, we would like to announce the 31st Annual People's Bank and Trust Taylorville Thanksgiving Tournament All-Tournament Team in alphabetical order. From Rochester, Elena Stock. From Hillsboro, Amaya Greenwood. From Mount Zion, Ava Anderson. From Mount Zion, Maddie Austin. From Taylorville, Grace Rogers. From Taylorville, Bailey Jackson. From Civic Memorial, Marley Ogden. And from Civic Memorial, Marley Durbin. Congratulations. And now for the team awards. In second place with a record of 3 wins, 2 losses, your Taylorville Tornadoes.
Tornado Girls Basketball here on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. And we are in our post-game coverage here of this one between Civic Memorial and Taylorville. And actually just now you're watching here on Tommy TV, and you can hear it here. The trophy is being handed over to Civic Memorial as the champions of the Thanksgiving Holiday Tournament. We also just saw the player, or the top players awards handed out. Actually, a couple of Taylorville players got themselves awards, including Bailey Jackson and Grace Rogers. Well, they were the only 2 players who were given awards for the tournament. Some of the top players in the tournament and a couple of Civic players awarded prizes as well. It looks like it was Marley Durbin and Marley Ogden. So the two Marleys. So both of the Marleys getting themselves individual awards for their performances in this tournament. So congratulations to them as well. Again, it finished here 61-38 in favor of Civic Memorial. They really dominated this game from wire to wire. They went in front 29-10 at the end of the first quarter. The other quarters were a little bit closer. In fact, Taylorville did actually win the fourth quarter at 9-7, but the game was very much out of reach at that point for the Tornadoes. Let's take a look at some of the top scorers for the two teams. We'll start with Civic Memorial. I actually didn't get a chance to go through the numbers during that break there, so I'm going to try to do it right now. Marley Ogden she had 19 points as we welcome you to our commentary position. I'm Reed Kamai, so 19 points for Ogden. And again, she was one of the honorees just now. Some of the other ones as well. Let's see. Marley Durbin had 11 points for Civic Memorial. 8 points for Addie Jeffrey. What else? We had 11 points for Isabel Edwards, 9 for Allie Truchler, and 3 for Andre Frankfurt. So those were the scores on Civic Memorial's end. And then for Taylorville, Bailey Jackson, one of the honorees for the tournament, had 10 points. And then who else? Another 10 points for Grace Rogers. And then for Nora Thomas, she had 13 points, and Max Simplecamp had 5 points, just 4 scores total for Taylorville. In fact, there were only 3 of them before halftime in this game. Those 3 players really the ones getting involved. And speaking of players, why don't we name now the Chill Nicole Patrick Country Financial Player of the Game. And you're going to take a look at her right now. Well, that's not the player of the game. That's a graphic there for Hayden Eldred, the head coach of Taylorville. But the player of the game in this case is Nora Thomas. I'll tell you what, I actually was a little bit unsure going into the fourth quarter about who the player of the game would be. But Nora Thomas actually changed my mind at the start of the fourth quarter. She got a couple of good scores there and really stepped up in plenty of other ways, getting her hands on the ball. Even when the possessions didn't work out quite so much in her favor, she was still able to get herself involved there. Yeah, you can see it right there, 13 points for Nora Thomas, and so she is the Chill Nicole Patrick Country Financial Player of the Game. Let's take a look at what's next for these two teams. For Taylorville, they will travel to Williamsville on Thursday, and then they host Mahomet Seymour on Saturday, and then just in today, I mentioned a little bit ago, they will have another game. This is added to their schedule. Again, we learned about this just today. They will travel to Springfield Lanphier. This is this coming Tuesday, which would be the 9th of December. Tip-off, we understand, will be at 7 p.m. And, of course, these games and much more will be available on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. And I do expect to be there for all of that as well for the Taylorville Tornadoes. And then looking at Civic Memorial schedule, they've got 3 away fixtures to play. They've got they are away to Mascoutah and Jersey, a couple of conference games for them. And then they are away to Edwardsville. Then they host East St. Louis, so not too long of a trip for East St. Louis. They are then away to Triad and then home to Alton as they go on through the rest of their season. Again, some heavy wins for them throughout the season, and this is another one here as well. And it looks like we are having ourselves an interview now with Hayden Eldred, the head coach of the Taylorville Tornadoes. Hayden, thanks so much for joining us. You are on 96.5 The Chill. It was a tough one out there, but I'm sure you knew that it was going to be a tall order with the Civic Memorial team. What stood out to you as far as your team's performance?
There were moments there we definitely could have let it get even bigger than it was, and we kept kind of getting back to that 20 mark. So I was proud of that, kept fighting. Yeah, I mean, they're really good. They move the ball so well and find the open shooters, and they can knock it down. So, I thought there in the first half we had a lot of open looks around the basket, and even the second half we just if we can make those bunnies, it's not over 20 points. It's more of a 10-point game, and it's within reason. So we keep getting those looks. We're getting those looks. We just got to knock down those layups.
You only had 4 scorers throughout the game. What made it difficult for some of the other players to really get involved like that?
I mean, they're pressure. They got all 5 players can defend really well, and it's hard to kind of get into anything. So you're kind of scrambling, and sometimes it just goes that way where some players are the only people getting the looks.
Next up, you've got Williamsville on Thursday, so that'll be your first away game of the season. How is the travel and all of that, and kind of a change to the routine? How's that gonna, you think, maybe affect your players?
It's always good. Every year, we get spoiled here, get the 5 home games in a row, and then the first road game. And so it's good to get out and play somewhere else. So we're looking forward to it.
Coach, thanks so much.
Thank you.
And that again, Coach Hayden Eldred of the Taylorville girls basketball team speaking to us here on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. It has finished here 61-38 in favor of Civic Memorial, the Eagles, the champions of this year's edition of the Thanksgiving holiday tournament, as I look for a place to put this headset down here on the desk. But thanks so much for joining us again here on 96.5 The Chill and Tommy TV. I'm Reed Kamine, and we'll have coverage tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Thursday. I'm getting the days mixed up here, of the game away to Williamsville, and I look forward to that. Thanks so much for tuning in, and you have a good night. Final score again is 61-38 in favor of Civic Memorial over Taylorville in the last game of the Thanksgiving holiday tournament. Bye for now. And thank you also to all the folks in the Tommy TV booth. I probably should have mentioned that. All the folks in the gallery for all your work as well. Thanks so much, and have a good night.
You're watching Tommy TV.